If I could walk around compound, if I could see some tigers. What? What if I stop? What if I stop? You come back? Yeah? Okay. Will you come back over this way? She's like, yeah, I will. And what if I keep on walking and I keep on walking with you? Will you walk with me? I'm beginning to see a pattern. Hi. Ooh. Oh, pretty girl, Miss Bonnie Boo. Miss Bonnie Boo in a different location. What? That's crazy. That's crazy. Why? Oh my gosh. That's so what? Oh, in this location? Goodness gracious. Oh, it's a mystery. It's a mystery. Ooh. Lemurs. Lemurs. Weird raccoon monkey things. They're weird. And they look kinda sorta like raccoons, but they also climb around like monkeys. They got big eyes. And they obviously like my singing, 'cause they're all coming to get a closer view. Look at this one. Back in my day, we used to have to get the blueberries ourselves off the bushes. Not like the ones that come inside the fancy steel bowls. Holy old man lemur. That's actually probably old lady lemur. Yeah. I think this one's got a hoo-ha. Back in my day. Yeah, just on their little rocket. Yeah, I can't remember if it was Heidi. I think it was Heidi that, I don't know who got, was it Jamie that got the rocket chairs? I don't want to say, because if I say like, oh, it was Jamie and it was actually Heidi, then Heidi will like say just like, it was actually me. And then if I say like, well, I think Heidi, like Jamie was like, I actually got those ones. So I'm just going to say like one of those two possibly got it. I don't know. Allegedly. Allegedly. I don't know. I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to get in trouble from these ladies. BBs. BBs. It's a little windy. Oh, the wind is blowing your manes, making them very coiffed, voluminous. Hi. I'm going to try to do my best. It's a windy day. It's a windy day, and I'm going to try to do my best to protect the microphone. Are you kidding me? I'm an idiot. Oh my gosh, I got my little waka waka. Okay, I just put the waka waka, I think, on the right spot. So, if it's been a little bit windy up until this point, I apologize. I am very sorry. I did not mean to do that. Didn't realize it. But you know what? It's not like I've been webcasting for multiple years. Oh my gosh. So stupid. Oh. Hello, all you big cat lovers out there. It's me, Derek, again. Welcome to another super duper fantastic episode of the Walk Around the Compound webcast. Started with Bonnie. Did anyone get that one right? Did anyone? Like literally, all you got to do is just go into the comment section and be like, oh my gosh, I did, even if you didn't. Because how are we going to be able to know? I totally got it right. You could do that every single time. You could just be right every single time. And it would just be like, oh my gosh, you're such a good guesser. This one, actually, I've got like a handful of like 7 users. Like every single time. They guess it. 100%. This is like a statistical anomaly. What a cosmic coincidence. Oh, Zuby. I'm sorry, he was following me. Zoobs was following. He's just like, do you have to go? Zuby was like, do you have to? You don't have to. You stay here with me. I gotta go, bud. Gotta go, Ra. Gotta go, Ra. Fleabies! Got the fleabies. We got some. We got some. Come and get your fleabies. These ones are fresh. Just picked yesterday. Ooh. Hi. Hi, Nadal. Oh, wait. Oh, sorry. You're Diwali. I still get these guys mixed up. Ah. My fleabies and my sweebies. I still get them mixed up. I am so embarrassed. So embarrassed. Since Miss Bonnie, of course, is inside the other enclosure. That one doesn't got no kitties in it. Ooh. Hi. Ooh. I got I'm going to jump into topics of discussion. I got a message on my YouTube channel. You can get private messages. And I got one from, I'm not going to identify who this person is, but they said some stuff that, just got me thinking and figuring I would, respond back instead of actually, I probably could have responded directly to them, but I'll respond in a webcast form, so how about that? But this person, and this is not the first time that I've gotten people who have given me, like, messages of this variety. I know. But, I think some of the specificity of the language, and of course it's like a recent thing, and it's like, all right, well, let's talk about this. This person said that they're depressed. And furthermore, they can be suicidal. Hi, bud. But the way that they said it, the way that they put that in the message, it was very telling. It was like a flag. And of course, anytime someone says that they're suicidal, that should definitely make your ears perk up. We're going to talk about that, though. We're going to talk about different things. But the way that the person said it, it definitely got me. I guess it got me, concerned, because it was like, I'm depressed, and I guess I'm, of course, sort of suicidal, but that's irrelevant. Like, they wanted to quickly move on from that. But that's irrelevant. Like, I just want to move on. I just want to say that your videos help, and it helps me feel better. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Look at this. Look at him with his little beats. Look at him with his little beats. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Look at him, how he holds up. He's like, I'm holding my Pete's here. Oh. Ah. Look at him with his claws. Oh my gosh. Ah. Diwali. Nadal is just like, excuse me, sir. I am cute as well. Can you see my snuffles? Do you see my snuffles? I'm like, I can't see your snuffles, Nadal. I can hear them. She's like, Nadal's like, everyone hates a literalist, Derek. And I'm like, I'm sorry, you're right. Alright, anyway. But, this person said, it's almost like they wanted to kind of just quickly move on from that fact. And then say like, oh, your videos make me feel better, and maybe they don't make me feel better right away, but they do eventually make me feel better. And it's like, I want to, hey, let's kind of go back to that. Schmutz. Got some schmutz. It's like, let's kind of go back to that. So tell me more about that, that suicidal stuff. And especially the fact, like, when they say, like, well, that's just kind of irrelevant, that kind of seems more kind of cry for help type stuff. They seem like, it's not, it doesn't matter, Because I know what that's like. I want this person to know that, look, you're not alone in your pain, and your sadness. And that's what I wanted to talk about. I want to talk about my own personal experience with depression, with some of the other cognitive disorders or mental conditions that I've experienced, and also my own personal experience with suicidal thoughts and suicidal ideation. You're not the only one. Some people might think that I'm actually going to be like casual or flippant about this stuff, and casual, yes, I am, because I'm comfortable talking about it. It's okay. Like, if I were to treat it like this, he who shall not be named, it gives it more, you know, of this, oh, and then when you say it, other people, they're like, oh, they it's like that. Sometimes it's not what you need. Sometimes you just have to just kind of look at it for what it is, and then you have to just treat it for what it is, which is just, you know, your thoughts going a little bit off course. Sometimes very off course, but a little bit. But we're going to talk about that. And when I say that, like, I'm good right now. It's one of those, if you ever struggle with that, I'm not gonna ever say like, oh, I'm cured, it's gone away forever and ever, it's never gonna come back. It's not. No, it's like it is stuff that can come back. It is what it is. But like now I'm in a good place, and sometimes people, because I've gotten a couple other comments too, they say like, I don't know how you can be so positive all the time, and I don't know how you have like such a great thing, but man, like your life is so great, and you have the cats and the family and stuff like that, like you must always be happy. And it's like, no, I struggle with feelings of satisfaction or feelings of self-worth or anxiety or stress. I struggle the same as other people do. I really do. And I mean, look, I've even struggled with like significant bouts of depression and suicidal thoughts, like at different periods of me being a content creator. Yeah, so as you've known me, as the whole BigCatDerek thing, sure, I have, and again, this is not like this is not meant to be just like, oh, Derek, oh, no, it's not meant to be that. I'm talking very specifically to the people who do experience these things, and probably experience them a lot more than others, and I want to talk about it, you know, casually, because I want to, yeah, look, the stigma around some of this stuff, it can be very detrimental to people getting the help that they need. And I'm not going to try to sit there and say that this stuff is not very serious, and that if someone does say these things, that you can't be like, you got to, like, look, you've got to treat people who talk about this stuff, yeah, you got to treat it very seriously. But me, like right now, in the place that I'm at, I can, yeah, I'm okay with discussing it, and not giving it like this sacred reverence, to make it a topic of discussion that is a little bit more approachable, so that people can feel comfortable about maybe the stuff that they struggle with themselves. I mean, that's it. But yeah, to this person, you're not alone. You're not alone. And I mean, there's all sorts of trite and cliched kind of things. One of the best ones I've ever heard about, you know, suicidal thoughts. I mean, like, this is like something that oh gosh, I just lost my train of thought. Oh, there's a Kari, by the way. She's back in her enclosure. Oh, no, she was pissing on everything. Like, Heidi actually was staying with her one night, and she was up and like pacing back and forth in her transport cage and going blah 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 blah, and just like a garden sprinkler, just peeing. So Heidi is like, you are going back in your enclosure tomorrow. This will not stand. And the car is like, blah, 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 blah. She was being so bad. And Heidi's like, yeah, you're good. You're better now. You're recovered. But I want to, yeah, one of the best ones that I've ever heard is that, of course, like suicide, it's a permanent solution to a temporary problem. And that's absolutely true. It's absolutely true. And sometimes, and this is the other thing, and I also want to talk to people who don't ever experience this stuff. They don't ever experience depression at that level, and they don't ever experience like suicidal thoughts or suicidal ideations. And this is the other thing, like they think like, well, you're just being so selfish. I'm like, yes, it is. It's a very, if the act of it is, yes, it's a very selfish act. And I think that, I absolutely agree with that. Like the damage it does to families is horrendous. And that's why it's just don't do it. But it's a little bit more complex than that. We're going to kind of get into that. No, just don't do it. Just don't. You better now? There you go. All right, well, talk to you later. No. But it happens slowly. It happens slowly over time. And it's never, a lot of times it's never for one reason. It's never for one like significant silver bullet thing. But a lot of times it's a combination of different things. It could be the circumstances of your life, just the accumulation of stress. And what stress will do is it changes the chemistry of your brain. Well, maybe you have an inherent chemical imbalance already. These are weighted factors. It's not just one, again, thing, but it's a complex net or a cauldron, a soup kettle full of different factors or ingredients that can ultimately take you down that mental path. A lot of times it happens very slowly. It creeps into your head. And a lot of times it's just as simple, you go to that place because you want to feel better. Like depressed people don't want to keep on feeling depressed. They want to feel better. And sometimes, and we're like human beings, we're very adaptable. We have different ways that we cope, but not all those, and like we not all those ways are the right ways, but it's our brain's kind of best effort, And sometimes there's something weird about depression where sometimes holding on to that crummy feeling or that depressive thought in a weird way, it's pleasurable. And people who experience this, they know what I'm talking about. Where it's almost kind of like, yeah, I feel so bad, but it's almost like it's an affirmation of the things that you've been thinking. Like, well, obviously I can't do this, or this stinks, or I stink, I suck at this, or I'm worthless at this, or whatever, or all of these different things. And then it's like this confirmation. And like that confirmation kind of is just like, that's, I'm right. I'm right. And being right feels good. Like, yeah, I knew it. I suck. I knew it. There's a weird system of chemical rewards that your brain has. And sometimes it can condition you into modes of thinking that are very unhealthy. That are very, very, very unhealthy. Oh, crap. Oh, the cauldron. Yeah. And how it happens slowly. I'm losing my train of thought. But, yeah, that stuff doesn't just happen real, it happens very slowly, and it's a combination of a lot of different things. And a lot of times people, they let those thoughts, and like sometimes the first time that those thoughts creep into your head, it's horrifying. Like, whoa, what are you thinking? Oh no. And then also, because of the serious nature of it, because of the finality of it, and like the devastation of it, people keep it very secret. It enters into their heads, and then they're just like, oh, don't let it, don't. How you doing? Fine. I'm fine. I'm good. See? Yeah. Oh. And like, but it's like, oh, it's just what? And then you feel weird about it. Just like, what was that? Like, I can't believe I even went there. I can't believe I went there. You just started thinking about this stuff. But a lot of times, what happens though is that for whatever reason, and again, it's the depression or it's a self-esteem kind of thing, or sometimes like factors of stress can really, because now this is also what like mental states and like stressful states, they don't just psychologically affect you, they physiologically affect you. And your whole body is connected by a nervous system. And if you have stress, it can create this like tension, this popping kind of electricity that is, you feel it all over. And then all of a sudden you're not firing on all the right pistons and all the right cylinders. That accumulates over time. That can change the chemical makeup of your brain. It can really affect stress. Stress is it's not, it doesn't have to be the reason, but it is a major contributing factor to depression, to suicidal ideation. And it creeps in a lot of times because what happens, this is how the thought will happen, is you're like, I'm just trying to get better, and I'm trying to think, I just want to feel better. Maybe if I just didn't exist. And then that's when you're like, whoa. It's like, but then, remember that reward system that we talked about? The idea of your pain and your depression and your sadness going away like that becomes like that feels good. Oh, that feels good. Oh, the idea that a lot of my anxiety, that my depression, that my sadness, that all of the problem, that it can just float away. Oh my gosh. Oh. So like sometimes you just think about these things in the abstract. You're not thinking of like, oh, this is all like the fallout or what could happen, or, I mean, don't get me wrong, that's the stuff that you need to think about. That's the stuff that ultimately will hopefully tether you to reality. The connections, the love that you have, hopefully, the reasons that you have, for continuing to go on. That keeps you, of course, from ultimately, making that very permanent and very tragic decision. But when you're in it, when you're in the throes of it, there's a weird, a sick and perverse kind of pleasure that you can get from just this idea that, like, all my problems gone. Oh. And that's how that's where the fantasy, it's like, sometimes it's like you have the fantasy, and it's like, and then that's when people say, well, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. And I'll bet you, and this is where I'll bet you that way more common than most people will ever admit. That that's something that I think a lot of people have. And that's that whole ideation thing where it's kind of a fixture. And if it becomes this thing, again, where your brain is rewarding you for thinking it, and then it starts to become just so ingrained into your psyche, into your consciousness, it starts to become your truth. Yeah. And then it starts to become where things get really, really bad. And then you actually start thinking of it in practical. You know what? I know that maybe before I was just kind of dabbling just because it just kind of felt kind of fun to think about it. Maybe that is the answer. That's how it happens. Slowly. But that's that other thing when you talk about the social stigma of it. And like when people who don't ever have that stuff go on in their heads, and then they hear maybe from a friend or a colleague or a family member or coworker, whatever, they start talking about these things, and then it's like in the Louis C.K.'s recent special where he's like, you even mentioned that, and then basically they're like jumping and you're like, get him! Ah! They want to jump on you, like, hold him down, he's trying to kill himself. It's like, no, I just want to talk about it. And that's when people they shut up about it because of the reaction. When it's so important that you talk about it. It's so important that you talk about it, that you let other people know about it, that it's something that you're struggling with, because then eventually, hopefully, they can illuminate to you, a lot of like the fallacies of it, or the illogic of it, and how and how your brain in a way it's conditioning you. It's not, your brain's just doing physically what it's kind of supposed to do. It's meant to protect you, even at your own expense. It's like, you know, a parent who, I just want to make my kid happy. Like, I just want to give him food because it makes him happy. And it's like, yeah, but you have like a 4-year-old that weighs about, you know, like 120 pounds. Like, but cake makes him happy. I'm like, I get it. Cake makes him happy. You have a morbidly obese 4-year-old. Oh. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Your brain can be the same way. Your brain is feeding you cake. It's feeding you cake. Your depression. It's a metaphor for fatness. I don't know. I'm getting all. But look, I've experienced it before, and like I said, I haven't struggled with that in a long time. Like I'm feeling I'm good right now. I'm happy. I feel a lot more content. You know, my sleep is good. There's a lot of different. There's so many different factors. I'm exercising more. There's different things. I'm trying to spend more time connecting with the people in my life as opposed to worrying so much about like the content. That's been a big deal too. So there's different things, and everyone's situation is going to be different. Like, but yeah, not owning up to it, or not wanting to talk about it, or yeah, that's very detrimental. Hi, Papa. Hi, Papa. So to that person who commented at me, I want you to know that you're not alone, okay? And it's okay. And I'm so thankful that you reached out to me. I really, really am. And I hope that you have the means available to you to be able to seek counseling or find the help that you need. There's a lot of different options out there. That's also the other thing. Like, yeah, it's one thing to talk. I mean, because like everyone they've got different. It's a ball of different conditions. I mean, look, I've had depression or self-esteem issues. I've had increased stress. I've had ADHD, which makes me kind of all over the place and I forget things, and then you know that kind of adds and compounds to my stress. I've actually taken different psychological analysis type things, and I've scored high on the narcissism spectrum, and also on something called the psychopathy deviant tendency thing, which that's an interesting one. It's almost like a measure of your rebelliousness, like how much you respect authority, like your internalization for societal norms, which is low. So yeah, there's all sorts of different things, and they play off of each other, and then they can create like a concoction. They can create a soup in that cauldron that can be very harmful to you. And you just have to be able to understand it and recognize it and talk to people. And if you have the means to be able to find professional help, I mean, definitely do it. Definitely do it. I mean, there's support groups, there's online support groups, there's different resources. So, yeah, look, and this is the other thing. I'm dumping a lot of loads on people and everything. Like, geez, oh my gosh, Derek. But I want to just basically just say, like, yeah, here it is. Here's my stuff. What's the big deal? You see what I'm saying? I'm still here. Still the same guy. One of the things also I like to talk about, if I didn't have ADHD, I wouldn't have the impulsiveness, possibly, necessary to be the type of content creator that I am. If I didn't have that psychopathy deviant tendency score high, maybe I would have been too considerate of societal norms for me not to be willing to put myself out there and, for the sake of entertainment, to make myself look kind of like boobish or a fool, or try jokes, that might be a little bit risky or something like that. So, hey, in a weird way, A lot of this stuff, it makes me who I am, and I'm okay with that. And it's ultimately like if I approach life like a completely normal, healthy person, I'll be very honest with you. I don't think that I would be, I don't think I would be in this position that I am right now. Talking to you, talking to thousands upon thousands of you. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have to shy away from these things. And this is the other thing. I'm not also trying to sit there, because I struggle a lot with this stuff. I'm not trying to make it like, oh no, all of my problems are very glamorous and they're wonderful they're great to have and they're wonderful to live with. Oh my gosh, my wife, she loves all of it. But she understands it and she accepts me, and that's the most important thing. She recognizes it as well, and she's like, it's a part of you, and I chose you, and I'm just, I love you. And there we go. And we're always going to try to work at these things. We're always going to try to, whoa, 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 whoa. So I just wanted to reach out, to one person who is dealing with that stuff, and the other folks who are affected by those types of things. Oh, also, it's 31 minutes. The webcast is at 31 minutes right now. This is a thing that happens where my phone, it only likes to save files that are 33 minutes and some change long. That's why sometimes if you notice, like late in the webcast, it'll like stutter. Yep, doesn't like me now. The video will stutter. And then because it's like the phone's just like, nope, we're moving on to a different file. I don't want to do too big of files. I don't like it, so I'm not going to do it. And I'm like, all right. So sometimes I'll lose like a few seconds. I'm going to try to cut this out before. That's why I'm like running around. I'm like, okay, there's this. Okay, there's Milo. All right, there's Cassie. Hi, baby. I'm going to tell you one of the biggest reasons that I was drawn to this facility, drawn to this place. Because yeah, I was struggling a lot when I was a younger man. I was struggling very, very much with a lot of depression, self-esteem issues, and this place really helped. It gave me something to just hold on to and focus on, and it became my therapy in so many ways. All of this, taking care of these animals and having something outside of myself. So yeah, like having the connections with the people around you that you love, finding something that fulfills you and that gives you purpose. I mean, there's so many different things. Again, the right types of food, the right types of sleep, exercising. There's so many, because it's, like mental disarray, it's like a bubbling cauldron, but mental health, being good, it's also a cauldron. Got to add those spices. Anyway, I appreciate you guys listening. Hope this helps some of you, and I'll talk to you later. All right, bye-bye.